Hi, everyone. You're welcome to again another conversation today. And we are having the part two of our conversation today. Can African Christians overcome poverty mentality? You have surely been following us, and last week we had the conversation on financial poverty. Today we're going to be having another conversation. You do not want to miss the conversation of today. I encourage you to share the link with friends. I invite you to have an interactive conversation today so that we can inspire one another, we can empower one another, and we can take actions that will make us benefit from the conversation of today. You want to stay tuned for the conversation. Hi, everyone. You're welcome back to the conversation. Can African Christians overcome poverty mentality? And if you were here last week, you would have had some few details about the conversation of poverty. And of course, before we get into the conversation, I want to say a little about myself. My name is Vera Sompon, and I am a serial entrepreneur, and I do different businesses. I own different businesses, and of course, businesses from real estate and, of course, educational sector. I love to educate, and my mission here on earth is to empower you, inspire you, and give you the necessary support that you need so that you can overcome all round. Overcoming meaning that be the best of who you are supposed to be and fulfill your mission here on earth. While I work towards fulfilling my own mission on earth, I want to encourage you to fulfill your own mission. But this we can only do together. So you want to stay tuned for the conversation today, and I implore you, encourage you to share the links with friends so that we can have an interactive conversation. Is that good? Now, if you were here last week, we had the conversation of financial poverty. We gave the different kinds of poverty mentality, and our emphasis was on financial poverty, right? And we said that there were different kinds of poverty. One of them was the financial poverty. And we encouraged that, yes, it is true that everyone and everything is vanity here on earth. But we said poverty as well is vanity. And you will remember, of course, that I said in my conversation last week, we are all and we have been playing very small in our diverse areas, in our diverse fields, which is not really, really good for the world, for the community in which we are, because you're playing small, it's not glorifying the God who created you. And I told you, or I emphasized on the fact that we are all here on earth for a purpose. And if we want to live the kingdom lifestyle, then we must be ready to experience and, of course, to really show forth that kingdom lifestyle. Who else should do that work if not you and me who call and who claim to be Christians? And of course, we had a definition of poverty, and that's what I want to share with you so that we will be on the same page and, of course, be able to understand the conversation for today. How did I define poverty? And I said that poverty is a lack of creativity to produce, to multiply, and to replenish your God given talent. Why do you have and why must you reproduce that God given talent in you? Why must you multiply it and why should you replenish it? Because it is only in doing that that the world around you can profit from it. It is only by doing that that you can add value to the life of other people. Remember, I said our life here on earth really doesn't have to do with us alone. But unfortunately, and most of the time, we make the mistake to believe that life centers all around us. And particularly for Christian, I want to really challenge you today because your life and as a kingdom lifestyle or a kingdom citizen, it's never and was never really about you. It was always about the citizens in the kingdom, the others. And so it is important that you produce that which God had put in you. We also saw the examples of the bird and the fish. And we said the bird can fly. That is his gift. And it is in him so that he should be able to do mighty things with that. We saw the example of the fish. The fish can swim, which means that you also have a specific gift. And that gift, only you possess that gift. And only you can make use of that gift. And therefore, if you play little, if you play religion, you're going to misuse the gift of God in your life. And you know what? Someone is waiting to be very happy about this, or a specific space is waiting to be really happy about this. I guess you know that space, the cemetery. You know, if you're playing small now, be very sure the cemetery will be so happy to welcome all the gifts that God had put in you. And it's so unfortunate because many people and many of us die with all the gifts that God has deposited in us, and the world has not profited. And you know why? Because of the mind. And that's why today we're not going to be talking much about the financial poverty, but we're going to be talking about another very important kind of poverty mindset that has really, really destroyed us even unconsciously. I want to hope that someone may guess, but I know you do not read my mind, so you cannot guess what I'm going to be talking today. But today, let me introduce you the poverty mentality at the level of relationships. Like I said, last week we spoke about finances, and we understood that actually you get money only when you produce something. Remember the definition of poverty? Lack of creativity, right? Now, so it means that if you are creative enough, you produce the gift in you, we are going to buy, right? Which means that you are going to be adding value to my life and to the life of the many other people around. Is that true? Yes. Now, and each time you add value to my life and to the life of other people, what happen is they genuinely, gladly bless you, right? That's why, let me give you a secret today. Many men of God, honest men of God, are really, really financially wealthy, not because they take tithe and your offerings. Because I hear many people say, men of God take tithes and offerings. Of course, we have some of those kind of people and those kind of pastors, whatever. But the real wealthy pastors, you will never see them touch even the tithe and the offerings, but they are wealthy. Why are they wealthy? Because they have understood the principle of adding values to the lives of other people. Now, let's talk about the gift. Most of these men of God really have written books and books and books. And they loan some of their books. For some of us, we will say it's a side hustle, right? But for them, it's really not a side hustle. That's a passion they have. And so they are producing that over and over. And when you are buying that book, you forget usually that the books that you buy provide money into their coffers, right? Which is a good thing because they have added value to our lives. And that is creativity. Now we have those that are doing music, if not for the sake that YouTube, which is good, thank God for YouTube, has come and people just put things there for free. Normally, it would have been good if you should pay for the music you listen to. And what would happen is the musician will be rich financially. And of course, who would have made that musician rich? You and myself. That's why the conversation today is so important because it's about human beings, about relationships. And if you will have to succeed in any area of your life, then you must have to work on this area of relationship. If not, you be sure that you will not go any much further. Now, poverty mentality in relationship to relationship. There are different types of relationships. Yes, we have one, families. The family could be for those who are married, children, mother, father, brother, and all this. And then we have the indirect family. For me, it could be my family in law, my sisters in laws, father in laws, and all that. And then we have the big family that constitute usually of uncles, aunties, and all these people. Then we have also the romance relationship, which is a very, very important relationship because if the romance relationship is really destructive, then even your gift will not come out. Remember what is poverty? The lack of creativity to produce your gift. And therefore, if your partner do not understand the gift you have and help you to produce it, it becomes really difficult. So romance relationship is the one between the man and the woman, right? We have also business relationships. And of course, you understand when I say business, then you understand it could be partnership for a project and all that. We have what I also call social relationship. The one we meet, I mean, the far relationship, acquaintances, you meet them on Facebook, YouTube. You have not maybe met them, some you have met on the street, but they are not people that you really bring close to you. They are really people we call social acquaintances. But now there's a very important one I want you to really pay attention to. Is what I call the inner circle. The inner circle. The inner circle is a group of people. They are not many. They are maybe usually two, three people, four people highest that really surround you. You are in their middle. And what happened is they are some sort of your coaches, your mentors, but these are people you have entrusted your so to say your life to them in as a way of always asking them feedbacks, guidance, and you know that these people have more than what you are and more than what you have. Now, let me take an example. In my inner circle, I have different people with that are really, 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 really that I really it's a privilege that they are even accepting that I'm in their circle, right? So such people, you really need them. Why? Because they make you understand you are not yet even anywhere. You still have to work hard. You still have to work on your character. You still have to work on your weight, Vera. You still have to work on your communication, Vera. You still have to work on the way you go about with people, Vera. You still have to work on the way you eat, Vera. You still have to work on the way you read books. These people are a sort of mirror to you, and they really point directly into your eyes and say, hey, woman, get up. They trust you. They know your potentials. They believe in you. They don't give you the chance to be small. The question is, do you have this kind of people? Now, let's go back to where I say we have a poor mentality in relationships. Most of the time, check your surrounding very well. You will realize that you are surely the one-eyed person amongst the blind. Have you observed that? That you are maybe the one who thinks, feels, claims to know usually more than everyone around that your direct surrounding. And you really feel happy about that. The danger with this position is you will never grow. The danger with this environment is you are almost dead. And if a tree is dead, it is good for nothing. What happens? We put in the fire, we burn for consumption. And that's how many of us are. We really feel comfortable being amongst those that are really not going to push us hard. We feel comfortable being amongst those that are actually just like we are. But we feel happy because we think that we know some few things more than them. I want you to examine your relationships now. Examine your inner circle. Today, I want to stay on the inner circle. So examine your inner circle. Write down these questions. How many people do I have in my inner circle that I can really entrust them the ability to give me constructive and honest feedbacks? Second question. How many people in this inner circle are actually 5 times better than me? I mean, 5 times or even 10 times better than you, meaning better than you financially, better than you spiritually, better than you morally, better than you academically. How many of us have such relationships? Now, we usually will not have such around us. Why? Because of our mindset. So that's where our conversation goes to. The poverty mentality makes us want to feel big and the biggest in the group. The poverty mentality makes you want to think that you know more than every other person. The poverty mentality makes you insecure so that you can't attract people better than you. The poverty mentality makes so that you even run away from people that can really be of help to you. Again, go through your relationships, especially the inner circle. Now, the next question will be, why do you have poor relationships? Or why do we have poor relationships? Remember last week, I told you about our thought. And I told you that in the book of Proverbs, it is written that as a man thinketh, so is he. Likewise, as a woman thinketh, so is she. Therefore, your thought about relationship can either make you or it mars you. Now, remember again that your thought leads to your feelings, which means that if you had and if you have experienced some bad relationships in the past, what happens is the emotions of the past still is around, that it blocks you from really developing great relationships. And because it blocks you from developing great relationships, the result is you remain stagnant and you are comfortable, or we are comfortable in our stagnancy because we feel like, by the way, we are better at least than A or than B. But I want to put you to this today. The only person you should compare yourself with to is yourself. And therefore ask yourself the question, Am I truly where I'm supposed to be? Let's take the example and the case of Germany. Most of us are maybe in the diaspora, and you are in Germany, and I'm talking to you, and you are asking yourself the question, can I really find someone in amongst the community to entrust that high responsibility to challenge me, to question me without me shivering? Yes, of course, we can. But the question is, are you really qualified enough? Is your mind ready for that kind of development? Miles Monroe says that except we change our philosophies, we remain the same position. And he went further to say, an idea can never be destroyed, which means that what you think, believe about relationships, I cannot destroy that in just a 30-minute conversation today. But you know what? You yourself will have to create a much better idea about relationships, especially about empowering relationship, so that you can really become the best person you ought to be. And he went further to say that only when you change your philosophy can change begin to happen. This will imply that you must have to change the way you perceive your next neighbor or the way you perceive that specific person who could be actually a help unto you, which also indicates that you will have to change the way you perceive people who are higher than you, greater than you, and influential than you, because you will need them to be able to learn also from them. I want to welcome you all. I welcome you. I see you all. I just want to continue the conversation before our time goes again like it did last time. Okay, so now that you know all this, we are going to be wanting to discuss on the purpose of relationship. Remember, I told you last week that everything got a purpose. Everything. Scientists, philosophers, religious men, and every other group of people agreed on the fact that everything on earth has gotten a purpose. Question: what's your purpose on earth? And why do you exist? And when we go further, we know that we have only two kinds of purpose: one, life purpose, and two, personal purpose. I want to talk on life purpose so that we understand the purpose of relationship. Now, in life purpose, we have three reasons and three purposes. One of them is the sole purpose for which we are all here on earth as human beings, again, is to add value to the life of other people, to the planet, for this generation and the generation to come. Another purpose in the line of the general life purpose is we are here on earth to learn and to grow. Therefore, if you're not growing, hey, we have to burn you. No, anything that doesn't grow should be destroyed. And the third one will be to enjoy the journey of our human experiences. True, we are going to have diverse experiences. True, we're going to really be hurt, wounded by the very people we think that they should have been there for us, right? But that's a general purpose. Now let's go to the personal purpose. The personal purpose will mean for you to fulfill your very mission, will mean to have a meaningful life. Why are you here? The meaning of your life. I told you before I started that my entire existence is on inspiring you and helping you to find your own full potentials and to live in your potentials without fear of any religion, of any rules, without fear. Live fully to achieve the purpose for which you're here, to achieve the meaning of your life. If not, like Miles Monroe says, the grave is going to welcome it very well. There are books you are supposed to write and you've not written them because your relationships are really poor. The song you are supposed to sing, you're not singing them because relationship, you're poor. The networks you are supposed to build, you're not building them because you're poor in relationship. In fact, the financial ability you're supposed to have, you're not there because you lack the relationships and because our mindset concerning relationship is poor. Now that we know the diverse purpose, what then is a purpose of relationships? Simple, right? The purpose of relationship is to help you and me achieve the purpose of life and our individual purposes. How do you want to achieve the purpose, your personal purpose, the mission for which you're here on earth alone? That is practically impossible. Now, how do you want to achieve the general purpose of adding values to the life of other people doing that alone? Is that possible? No. Therefore, the purpose of having a positive mindset towards relationship is because we have the a mandate together to add value to the lives of people. And of course, we have the mandate to support one another so that the mission for which we are here on earth be fulfilled. You got it? I hope that you got it. I repeat this again. The purpose for relationship is simple. It's simply that together we be able to help you achieve your mission on earth. Now, how do you achieve your mission on earth when you reject every good relationships? How do you achieve your mission? My mission is to help people. But you know what? I can't do that alone. I definitely need an IT person. I definitely need someone that who is going to do my write-ups. I definitely need someone who is going to do my introduction. I definitely need someone who is going to do the web pages. I definitely need someone who is going to write what I'm saying. I definitely need someone who is just going to prepare the good food so that I have enough energy to be able to do the work, right? Can I do the work of all these other people? Now, I will shock you because many people think if I have the money, that's fine. I could just do all these things with my money. That is true. But another shocker is if you have to buy everything, then you are the most miserable person on earth. Then it is more reason why you should work on your mindset relating to human beings and relationship. Because honestly, we should not buy everything. Honestly, we should have these relationships that are there to support us. Honestly, we should be able to say, hey, I want a good film, and you have someone to say, hey, I do that for you for free because I like you, because I love what you do, because I want to be a blessing to you. Just imagine you have to buy everything with currency, with cash. Please, then I tell you, work on your mindset related to relationship because then something is messing up somewhere. And I tell you, if it continues like this, you will not achieve the best of who you were supposed to be. And that's why I feel that we as Africans, and especially African Christians, we were supposed to be the example and the model to be able to show what it really means to have good relationships, build good relationships, support one another. But you know what? Something went wrong. Why women slept? Why men slept? The wicked one came in between and sowed some tares, the tares of distrust, the tares of fears, the tares of ignorance, the tires of insecurity, the tires of jealousy. Why men slept? Why women slept? The wicked one came. The wicked one can be ignorance, darkness, anything. It just came in and sat there so that when you just think of, I want to create a relationship with this person, your mind start telling you, ping pong, be careful, you know that, right? And of course, I understand that some of us have gone through a lot of challenges. Now you're listening to me. I want you to just close your eyes. If you've gone through a lot of such difficult challenges, relationships, and you are really in a mess now, your mind is in that position whereby you just can't trust no one to help you. You just can't trust real people, those people that you know that would have been there for you. If you are also having this thing that is paining your mind because of relationship, I just want you to close your eyes for a few minutes. Relax where you are. Just close your eyes and relax where you are. Now, relax yourself and say this to yourself. Now I am coming out of that bondage of distrust. Say this to yourself. I'm coming out of that bondage where I have kept my own self for so long. And then, if you have that person and you see the image of that person, call the person and say, hey, I forgive you. I let go so that I can be able to build good relationships. Relationships that will bring me more gains, relationships that will add value to my life, relationships that I will be able to learn and grow from them. Say that to yourself and then release yourself, because it is only when you do that you can really be free so that you can start experiencing good relationships. I want you to also free yourself from every form of guilt. Maybe you are the one that have really offended someone, and ever since you're just so scared. Maybe you got some experience, some time passed with some particular group of people, and this negative experience has been following you all through. So that when you hear relationship, the first thing you say is, oh, forget that. But remember the bigger purpose. It's no longer about you, it's not about me, and it's not about you. The kingdom lifestyle says that we are living because of adding value to the lives of other people. It's simply about other people and no longer about you. And therefore, there is a need for the renewal of the mind. Go to your mind and say, I renew my mind. I am worthy to have friends that are better than me. I'm worthy to have a good inner circle that can help me grow. I deserve to have mentors, people that will become my mentors and help me grow. I deserve to be vulnerable before the people that can help me. If you do that to yourself, then you free yourself from all sorts of bondages and you become conscious of the fact that your inner circle will help you achieve the big purpose of life, which is the work you're called to do. You are called for a particular assignment, and you cannot do that alone. That's why there is a need for you to deliver yourself from the mindset, the poverty mindset related to relationship, that you set yourself free from that kind of prejudice that you have as a result of your frustrations in the past, as a result of your fears that came from the experiences you had in the past. And when you do that, you'll be free enough to overcome. And now, how do you really overcome this? It will be important for us also to understand how the mind functions. I said it last week and I'm saying this again now. Your mind is like a computer or again like a soil. You see, the soil, whatever thing you put in the soil, it gives back to you. In fact, when you're not careful, it gives back to you in multitude folds. Let's take the maize. I take again the example of the corn. When you take the dry corn, you put in on the soil, what happens? Do you receive only one corn bag? No. What do you receive? Plenty. In fact, that bunch gives you really plenty back, right? That's the same thing with your mind. When you have that mind that says, pim, pim, relationship are dangerous, pim, relationship will kill, pim, relationship scare away, go away, be only the one that is great amongst other people. What happens is your mind stores that, right? Now, when a good relationship comes close to you, the soil, the information you gave your mind tells you, don't give him the chance. Don't give her the chance. And that's how, with your attitude, unconscious to you, you push away that person, that valuable relationship that would have helped you take you from that your position where you are to a mighty position. But the question is, do you even know your position where you are supposed to be? Maybe that's where we really have to start. Because, like I said last week, many of us are contented where we are. We love our comfort zones. And it's such a shame, actually, but many of us are not even conscious of the fact that it's really even a shame. Shame because, when you're unable to fit your next neighbor and yet you can fit your own self, you feel it is good. It's a shame because if your next friend, the next neighbor, I don't mean friend, the next neighbor cannot also profit from you, then there's something wrong, right? So we should not be comfortable. We should not be comfortable in our small minds. We should not be happy saying that I can do the things all on my own. You cannot. So stop deceiving yourself. You cannot. And if you do, you will do just a little. And that's why your so-called success also would just be a little. In fact, what you call success is actually not success. It is still a pathway to finding. And that's why we really have to be careful how the information we give our minds. And I told you last week that the mind loves being comfortable. And that's why when you tell the mind, this person did this to me, these relationships are not good, they are just destructive, they are deceivers. Some people come and behave like though they were mentors, but they are not mentors. You say some people come and do like if they were kind, but they are not kind. All that information are stored in your mind, in the subconsciousness mind. And what happened is that you keep removing that even unconscious to you. And that is very dangerous. Now, what happened is now, let's take an example. When the president of the country comes to you, you know what you will do? You will even go out of that place without really having a good dialogue with him or with her because you really don't know what to say, because you really only feel that, why is he coming here? Something must be wrong somewhere, or he wants to get something from me. And most of us are always in that position to think that someone wants to always get something from you, as if to say you even have anything. You know, we are always in that position to think someone wants to get something from me. Someone wants to get something from me. Someone wants to take something from me. Why don't you change that and say, hey, I give freely to someone. I give freely to people. I help people freely. I give them. You know why? It is the abundance of giving that you will receive. It may seem not true now, but I give you just 3 years. After you have given, it will come back to you in a way you least expect. You know why? Because the universe is honest, because nature is honest, because God is faithful. And because God is faithful, he who sows and he who shows a labor of love will receive the reward of that love. So do not be deceived by your small minds. Do not be deceived by the challenges that you have gone through. Don't let the challenges you have gone through make you lose the mighty opportunities before you. So therefore, we have to trick our mind. Now, how do you trick your mind so that you can be able to build a good inner circle? For those who are Christian, you surely know the relationship between David and Jonathan. You know that this relationship, it wasn't blood relationship. David and Jonathan were not brothers from mother and father. In fact, truth to be said, they were not even the same kind of rank. Jonathan was from the König, from the palace, from the royalty, right? And David was not. But now, how did David get that kind of a relationship? What happened? How could he? Question: why are you not having such relationship? Because if David could have that kind of a relationship, and you know what Jonathan did for David, like I said, Jonathan was ready to do anything for David. Stay in your inner circle, people who are mightier than you, spiritually, financially, that you are ready to learn from them and let them help you, guide you, so that together you can achieve the very mission for which you're here on earth. And for you to achieve your mission for which you're here on earth, you first have to understand, what is my mission? Now, we're talking about Christians. Most of the Christians I've encountered always have as mission the word, they say this word often. And I ask myself if they really understand the word, the meaning of what they say. They say their mission is doing evangelism on earth. Perfect. Question: what does it really mean to do evangelism? What does it really mean? And how can you do evangelism if you do not have good relationships? How do you do evangelism with people you do not even want to talk with or to, because you say they are of the world? Now, how do you help people that really will be who they are without judging them and condemning them? How? Now, can we do evangelism in our just loving people like how Jesus did? Was that evangelism he did? By showing them love and helping them fulfill their destiny, helping them being what God said they will be without judging them if they are doing what God is asking them to do or not? Can we just decide to say, God, give me that grace to just be an instrument someone can use to cross over without being judgmental, without thinking about myself, without thinking about what other people are profiting out of me? For sure, if you keep thinking what they will profit from you, you will not even have the mindset to help other people to the point of you being finally helped. So, what must we do to overcome this kind of mentality that makes us not really have good relationship? This kind of limiting mentality that makes us not profit from the best. What must we do so that we overcome this kind of low pattern of thinking? What must we do so that we are free from this mindset that makes us small and make us not actually fulfill the big picture? Can you remember the big picture? If you remember the big picture, just write below. The big picture, again, important for us to take note, is the bigger purpose. The purpose is to help other human beings, help the planet for this generation and the generation to come. The bigger purpose is while we are here on earth, we are learning and we are growing. And the bigger purpose is we're going to definitely have our experiences, but you know what? We're going to change all those experiences to be profitable to us. Because why? all the experiences we have gone through has been there for our good. You do not want to know the kind of relationships I had until I came to realize I was actually the cause why I had only bad kind of relationship. Of course, I don't mean that the people around me are bad. No. But the question is, why, for me, was why did I not attract better relationships in terms of those who are really better than myself and who can add value to myself and so on? And I realized that it was because of my experiences that I had in the past. And so unconsciously, I was blocking people from even coming close to me. And you know what? Of course, I don't mean that you go and embrace everybody. No, 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 no. We have every category. That's why I insisted on the inner circle. Today, talking just on the inner circle. Who are those in your inner circle? Do you have those people in your inner circle? Please, they should not be many. Usually, some of us, we have only two or three of them. And you know what? They are the people that at times are really just our mentors, because we know that you will hardly really find the kind of people you want if they are not your mentors. And it means at times even that you have to invest. It means that again, you have to go out of your mindset to think that, oh, I know already, so I don't really need. No, you must have to be a student to learn so that you can grow. And then, of course, you will also, as a student, you're not to take everything. No, you, as a student, you do a lot of research, right? And then you make up your own decisions, right? So how do we overcome that mentality of that is limiting us to have those right people? The first thing you must do, you should do, is understand, please, it's never about you. Forget yourself in this process. Forget who you are, what you have, what you do. Forget this, please. And always think about the other person. Two, forget the fact that people are always getting things from me, and give willfully, freely. I know what, genuinely, genuinely. When you give genuinely, people at the beginning may worry, why is she doing what she's doing? You know, when I started doing my work, people are always like, why is she doing what she's doing? Until they realize that, you know what, I really do what I do because that's all what I know how to do. That's all I know how to do. All I know how to do is either I teach, or I train, or I give information, or I help somebody. That's all I know how to do. In fact, my husband will say, all you know is Sompon social service. And I'm grateful that he is backing that up, because that's all I can do to help people find their true identity. And I'm really, really grateful for him because he has come to the knowledge of that, the realization of that. And all he does is, you know what, let me just support this lady to be who she's called to be. Right. But I would not have come this far if the romance relationship, remember what romance relationship is, the partner relationship, man and woman, if it wasn't supportive enough, right? But it's also because I let go of many of those things. All right. So, one, it's never about you. Two, remember kingdom principles. It's never about you. And three, remember the big picture. The bigger picture is the picture of others again. The bigger picture is for you to learn, and the bigger picture is for you to make experiences in life, and therefore you can't do that alone. And then, last but not the least, it's important for you to understand the kind of people kings and queens work with. You know, usually we just like using some words. It doesn't, I that's why I don't use the word positive mindset, because those are just words we send out and they don't really affect us. We need empowering thought. We need thoughts that will empower us and will push us to take actions. Most of us accept the fact that we are queens and we are kings. But look at the relationship that kings and queens have. Have you observed that? How do they mingle? They also look, check the example when Sheba visited King Solomon. When he visited King Solomon, he said, wow, I have only heard, but this what I have seen. Her mouth was open to see the kind of glamour that was in the palace of King Solomon, for those who read the Bible. Now, let's take now the ones here on earth that we know that are still common to us. Let's take the case of King Elizabeth. I mean, look at her people that she mingled around. You will realize that she also had in her inner circle not necessarily other kings and queens, but people that will come secretly and tell her things that will push her forward and give her the information she needs. Those are what we call the inner circle. Do you have any of those? If you do not have, I implore you to start working towards that, because your very purpose to succeed in achieving why you're here on earth, you will definitely need the right people around you. So, the last question would be, can we really overcome? We, in the sense of Africans, we, in the sense of Christians, can we really overcome poverty mentality? Of course, the answer should be yes, we can. Why? If you know the why, just write down the answer below. But why do you think we can overcome? I know we have not overcome so far because of the fears, the insecurities, and that's why we are having just the kind of people that really cannot push us forward, and our attitudes repel them, that they really cannot do something much, they cannot help us, you know. But can we really work on our attitude, work on our character, work on our behavior, work on our mind, so that we can now attract those kind of people that will be there to help us? If you think yes, we can, just write yes, we can, and give me your own suggestion. What you think before I come to my own suggestion. But I think yes, indeed, we can overcome. So, Eno Maggie says, once we change our mentality and negative friends, yes, that is true. Once we change our mentality and negative friends, nonetheless, it's not enough to change the negative friends, because we are not talking here about the negative friends. We are talking about the inner circle. That, remember, the purpose of relationships is to push you to achieve your very own purpose, your very mission. Remember, the purpose of relationship is to help you succeed. I'm seeing you, Dr. Jerry. Thank you very much. um I'm seeing you all. Thank you, Mori. Thank you, Ayemles. Thank you, Sandra. Thank you, everyone who is here. God bless you for coming. Remember the purpose of relationship. Why is it? Why do we need? And what is the purpose? What is the reason? Miles Monroe again said, if we do not know the purpose of a thing, two things happen. There is a misuse or there is an abuse of that thing. That's why most of us abuse relationships. That's why most of us misuse relationships, because we do not understand the purpose of relationships. If we understand the purpose of relationship, that it is really simply to help you, me, us to achieve the bigger picture. Which is the bigger picture? Adding values to the life of other human beings and to the planet in this generation and for the generation to come. Then you will have to do everything to work that mentality that limits you to get to around, surround yourself with those kind of people that can push you, get the accountability that you must give them, so that you'll be able to fulfill your own personal purpose here on earth, which is your own mission, why you were born, why you are here at this present moment on earth. You got it? Good. So now that we know question will be, can we overcome it? Of course, yes. Many of you have written, the purpose is to build each other. Thank you very much, Dr. Jerry. And that is true, because in building each other, we fulfill that big purpose, which is adding value to the lives of other people, and of course, blessing the planet. And when we do that, we indirectly add value to our own lives. And that's why I will advise you, get out of the mindset to think, what do I get from this? They want to always get from me. Like if to say all the knowledge and the wisdom was always in you and you alone, right? And go to the point where you know what? I'm giving. Remember what there is a promise that says the hand that gives is always on top, and this is not a lie. The nature will back that up, the universe will back that up, and God will back that up. How do we now overcome this mindset that limits us from creating good relationships? One, let's have empowering thought. Two, remember, as a man thinketh, so he is. As a woman thinketh, so she is. Let your thought, I don't want to know who that person would have been, who that person is. The thoughts towards human beings, the thoughts towards your fellow brother, the thoughts towards your fellow sister, the thoughts towards your fellow African, let it be empowering thoughts. What does it mean to have empowering thought? It means that when that idea comes within you and say, oh, they are coming to take something, when that idea comes within you, oh, they are not, she's not genuine, he's not genuine, he's just coming to deceive me. What would you do? You would tell your mind. Remember, your mind is not you directly, right? It's just an information is passing. The mind will pass you the information. Pim, 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 pim. They are coming again. What you tell your mind is, you know what? I have made up my mind to join together with the universe and the people in this planet so that we can be able to achieve that bigger image, that bigger picture, which is bigger than myself. And that picture is to be able to help other people fulfill the purpose for which they were created. And in so doing, I will attract other people who will also in return help me achieve the purpose for which I was created. And of course, that is in feelings, in emotions. When that emotion starts coming, I want to push you to repel, stop that emotion immediately, because your emotions will lead to the action you will take. If you now start feeling very funny about Vera, about anyone, what happens is you don't even want to go towards the person. And even if you pretend to go towards the person, these emotions usually is terrible. You know what? It reflects on your face. It just have an energy, and that bad energy just comes there, and no one wants to be near you. Or again, no one wants to help you, and you're wondering, I'm always helping people, and people are not helping me. No, there is something wrong. The mindset that you're carrying towards other people has a very bad energy, and that negative energy has a way to come out, and that people feel it, people hear it, people smell it, and people can touch it, even you not knowing that they can do that. All right. So, and therefore, if you work on that emotions, then it will influence your actions. And of course, what happens is when you have empowering thought, that empowering emotions, empowering actions, what happen, the result is you will have an empowering inner circle that will help you so that together you can achieve the bigger purpose, the purpose of helping humans, and of course achieve your personal mission here on earth to be able to succeed, and you'll be able to succeed in whatever you are intending to do. Is that good? Good. So again, a summary, you are the product of the kind of people you surround yourself with. So therefore, if you will tell me the 5 people you surround yourself with, your inner circle. In fact, if you even tell me their salary, I will tell you how much you will earn the next 5 years. And that means that if your close people, the 9 close people around you have, are those people that earn lesser than you, think lesser than you, it means you will be number 10 to be exactly like the people you accompany yourself with. Therefore, my challenge to you today is build a mindset that is empowering so that you can attract the people that are much better than you in every area so you can learn from them. And of course, not forgetting your own people that you always had so that you can now also be a teacher to them, but you also have a teacher. We want to be students continuously. And when we learn as students, we put it into practice. And when we put that into practice, our lives can never be the same again. So a take-home message for you today is, I want you to live a kingdom lifestyle as a child of God, as an African, because we Africans are royalties and we have a way and a lifestyle that reflects and show royalty. And therefore, in your relationships, you want to create the inner circle that will push you forward, help you so that together you can be able to achieve the bigger purpose for all mankind, and of course also the personal purpose, so that you will fulfill why you are born and why you are on earth. Hey, thank you so very much for being here. I see you all, but the time is fast gone, and I know that you still want to hear more and more. I thank you very much. But you know what? I have made up my mind to have a deal with you for 1 hour, and the 1 hour has come to an end. For sure, next week we are going to meet again, and this time we are going to be examining attitude. We want to talk again how the kind of mentality we have, the poverty mentality we have, in our character and attitude that has destroyed us from being and achieving what we're supposed to achieve here on earth. Until we meet again, remember, I love you, and my sole purpose here is to help you, inspire you, achieve your very, 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 very purpose on earth, because you have a mission here on earth, and my assignment is to help you achieve that very purpose, because I trust in your potentials and I know that you are created for might and power. Until then, take care of yourself and God bless you. Remember, I am your sister, and together we're going to work through this change process. God bless you. Love you.